So
right?
learn to regulate before reacting. This is huge
Mm-hmm.
because here we uncovered two things, triggers and red flags. So triggers, yeah, because again, you get triggered and then you sit. The only way out is through. You have to, if you want to avoid, okay, but then you'll keep repeating. You sit with the discomfort and then you understand because triggers are actually our best friends because they show us where we need to work if we're aware, right? So we see, so you say in that case, I text and I communicate. We don't even see because this is good to regulate the nervous system. We need to also teach the body that we're safe. We shouldn't say self language is key. I'm anxious. There's anxiety in my body. I'm feeling anxiety in this moment because otherwise we've been repeating and repeating this, like rehearsing an act, like I'm anxious, I'm anxious, I'm anxious. So then what do you become? You're is an identity. You're an anxious person. Not really. I mean, not all
Right.
the time, right? And then when you get the text back or you don't get it or you get the response, so that's actually the red flag because you're like, okay, wait a minute, how does it sit with me? How it's not even, oh, does he likes me, does he like me, does he whatever, it's, is this serving me? Because if you stay,
Right.
right, if you stay, you said it's for the connection, it's probably for the fear of losing the connection, so you move out of fear. If you instead know that you're worthy and that doesn't serve you, you're just settling for breadcrumbs, you're like, okay, red flag, what do I do? No, next, and you leave. But
No, because
then
it's the validation that you no longer need, right? You
exactly.
don't need that validation anymore. I'm not here seeking your approval anymore. Like, yeah, this is who I am, and if you can't meet me where I'm at, then I'm not going to seek. I'm trying to see this from a detached place.
Yes.
That's where the problem becomes. We get attached. You know, so many relationships and people try to create this intimacy before the safety's even there. And that's where the attachment comes in. And when that attachment comes in, that's where the pain comes from. Trying to get it from a detached place where you're like, I'm going to be okay whether this evolves or not. But what I have found for myself, if I'm starting to feel that something's depleting me instead of energizing me, that's a huge thing for me. And I know enough in my body to say, I'm starting to think about this too much. I might be losing a little bit of sleep thinking about this. This is to me, your body and your soul and your intuition at that point kicking in saying, this may not be a healthy alignment. What do you see happening here? Right? And if you look at it and say, okay, do I see a potential for a future here? 8 out of 9 times, probably not.
Yeah.
That's when I find, like, unfortunately, the weeding process goes faster, but it's almost better to wean through it than even to the other person too. Like, listen, this isn't aligning with me. I don't want to waste your time, just like I don't want to waste mine. I'm being very intentional. And that's what I said. I made a little video yesterday. I don't know if you've seen it at the beach about so many people in dating are looking for attention instead of intention. It's the
Hmm.
difference. You're mixing it up. The
Yeah.
attention is attention. That's what your validation seek. And the intention is this shit going to work out?
Yeah, exactly.
I want
Exactly.
to go with what is your intention? I'm not looking for your attention. I'm looking for your intention.
Yeah.
And if you can't show intention, then it's not aligned. You can't miss what's for you. Maybe it's something that happens later on. Maybe you take a break. Maybe they circle back around after, you know, they decide and they work on their own nervous system because this isn't about men or women. This is about humans. This is about the soul journey of our emotional evolution of how we are here learning to love, to feel, to be vulnerable, to be authentic, and to be seen. And if people understand the difference between being seen is your outward appearance and being seen with your mask on. But I want people to understand being seen is the truest sense of intimacy, is being seen from your soul, having a soul connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Turn my soul on. Get naked with your soul before everything else. And
Yeah.
then the possibility could work out. Just come forth vulnerable, not defensive, not, stay in, like, stay with you, sit with you. And if two people can do that, they're not going to blame the other person because one's choosing to say, this isn't working for me. Something personal, it's not working for me.
So, what are we saying to those women who stay because, and I've been there in the past, oh, but it'll change for me. Oh, this will change because, yeah, I see you shaking
This is
that.
what we say? This is what we say. This is the truth about what we say. Think about how hard it was for you to change yourself. And if you can't change your own self, you have no control over thinking
No.
you're changing anyone else. You're not. You're not. This is an inner journey. This is a self assessment. This is your own journey of your wounds, of healing them, of your self realization of your needs, of what you truly need in a relationship, what your non negotiables are. If you're willing to allow that, men or women, then that's what you're going to bring into your life, because like does attract like. But so then at that point, if you attract somebody like that, you have to say, okay, something in me is attracting this. I need to take a look at it. Am I going to continue in this, or have I learned the lesson and realized that no, I'm going to set a boundary because that's not me anymore. And that's not what I want to attract. And that's, for me, that was my lesson. And I'm thankful I learned it quite quickly, with no collateral damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
It's
With no
good.
collateral damage.
It's good because a lot of people tend to want to control the situation of the other person and want it to
Right?
change someone else, which is, as you said, impossible. Why don't we instead, one more time, there's only us, so go inward and change and work on ourselves? Because, as you said, it's all about energy, frequency, vibration. So we need to attract. If there's blocks, you cannot attract opportunities and the love of your life, the man or the woman of your life. So when you work on you, that's how you actually create the change that you desire and that will manifest into reality. Not by
Yeah.
focusing and shifting your consciousness and energy and attention on another person. She or
No.
he is not you. That's not how we do it. Exactly. Yeah.
And you're not going to feel bad. You're not going to feel bad anymore. I know for me, I would say maybe before not say anything because, oh, maybe it's too soon. And then, I don't know, a year goes by and you still
Yeah.
didn't say anything and nothing's changed. No, no, no. I'm not doing that anymore. You are okay to have a boundary. And when you know what your boundary is and you know who you are, and you know your trigger and you see your trigger kicking in and you're sitting with it and you're like, okay, did I look at this? I had to look at it like, okay, am I going to push this away? Because I'm not feeling that I'm getting the attention, not intention, the attention I need. So I'm going to do the mix and I'm going to do the avoid it now. Before I get rejected, I'm going to reject. You
Mhm.
have to check yourself and then say, no, that's not why. I'm doing it because now I know my worth. I know my value. I know I'm stepping into this authentically and vulnerable, um, and open to inviting the connection, but I'm not carrying the connection and I'm not forcing the connection. So it's not. So now I'm choosing to say, I feel that. And I think over 2, 3 months of trying to get to know somebody is a good time, 90-day return policy. I think,
Probation period.
I think
Yeah.
90 days, but 30, you're trying to get to somebody and get to know somebody. And I think if somebody shows you consistency over that time, that's great. And I do know that men deal with things differently. If men are getting close to you, they will naturally pull back and recheck themselves. That's not always necessarily avoidant. That's just the way sometimes men have to sit in their
Yeah.
emotions. So we definitely come to a relationship interview process differently. But I think over 3 months, if you're trying to make a connection, you have to have some self-worth and say, I'm not really feeling that you're maybe showing me the interest. And to me, I'm going to walk away now.
Yeah. Because
Either they're gonna have a come to Jesus moment and
yeah.
say, hey, I really miss that somewhat of a connection. I'd like to build on that.
Hmm.
Or they may just, get avoidant, shut down, get defensive. It
Yeah.
all depends how their nervous system is,
Yeah.
where they are in their evolution of their
Yeah. That's
relationship or
important.
emotional growth. And we have no business. That's not our
No,
business. That's
it's
that's
not
their
our
business.
business. It's not ours to carry, to fix. And our nervous system is asking for safety, not another person to rescue us. Nobody can come and save us because then we give, one more time, our power away. It's good to have somebody you can share your life with, but you are whole no matter the person next to you. Regarding triggers, when you get triggered and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? You know what tends to happen? The mind fills the gaps. And
Yeah.
the worst case scenario. Now, do we trust the mind that, one more time, to keep us safe? Let's make it that everybody's dying and so like we're safe. No. Or okay, let's look at references, because that's how we also shift a belief. Think of a belief like a table with the four legs, the references. We have to ask ourselves, is that the truth? Because the mind, one more time, because of the belief system, tends to answer in ways that are not really truth, like the reality of facts, but it tends to answer based on who we are, so the beliefs. Let's sit and ask, okay, am I probably making it up? Like, and just gather data, information, because that's important.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I do find this is what this is what I've learned over um just everything. My own relationships, writing the books, coaching other people is this. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Don't, okay? Don't add to the resume. Just believe them. Believe what they're showing you.
Yeah.
Because, we want to make up like, oh, this person must be wounded or this person's very deep. Well, are they? Believe what you see. Actions speak louder than words,
Always,
always.
always.
And people will put in what people invest in what's important to them. And we talked about this with coaching. With people with coaching, people will go out and spend money on all sorts of things that are important to them. Extension, shopping, whatever, Botox, whatever
Yeah.
it is, right?
Name it.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, this lip flip's driving me nuts. I'll never do it again. I'll,
I
I'll never do
love
it again.
you. You see,
I
this is so she's who we are. Come on. Yeah.
I got a lip flip and now I
Yeah.
can't drink out of a straw. I can't stand it.
I know.
The
I
thing
know,
is,
I know how it feels like.
oh, I hate it. But I mean, this is the thing. We invest in the things that are important to us. So if you're investing in a person, you know they're important to you. But if you're not, then how do you think that other person's feeling? And how would on the flip side too, for men too? You know, I'm going to be honest. I put out a little post on Divinity about what women want to feel. I don't know if you've seen it. And then what do you want, men? Do you know the nastiest comments that I got from men? I got a lot of terrible comments like we want to go be left alone. Leave us alone, stop being cheated on, used for money. And you know what I responded? This comment you're speaking is coming from a very wounded man.
Yeah.
Very wounded man, just like a woman who would come back and say the same thing against men.
Hmm.
very wounded. That's wounded.
Yeah.
Because somebody who's healed is not going to say those comments. They're
No.
going to say, what we want from men is we're not enemies. We want to co create. And in order to do that, we need to come in vulnerable, come in speaking our truth, what our needs are,
Yeah.
whatever
Exactly.
they are, up front. Because because we're not mind readers. We're not. But you
That's why
also have to have
communication
the,
is key. Is key.
it's key. Like, and when you try to, and listen, it doesn't mean you're going to be successful. I tried very hard to get to know somebody authentically, vulnerably, and I was not successful. I felt like I was successful in my part of trying to be vulnerable and communicate, handle my own triggers, and come forth with what my boundary is for me, what I need to even consider moving forward with anything.
Yeah.
um but you can't carry it. So if you're okay with what you put into it by communicating, then walk away.
Yeah.
Walk away. You're not losing anything.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
you can lose yourself and yet again another toxic relationship.
Yes, you can lose yourself, and that's the main thing. Stop abandoning yourself. Stop.
You're right. You can't abandon yourself
No.
because you're not even being fair to that other person. Because when you abandon yourself, then you're not being authentic and you're
No.
not being honest. So then when
Yeah.
the other person says, well, I didn't know, they
Mm-mm.
actually are in the right to say, well, you didn't communicate that. So
Exactly.
you think you're right. You
Yeah,
think
you're
you're sitting
allowing it.
there
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
allowing it and you're not saying what you need, but you're part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I always say, look inward because, and I tell all my clients, you're the problem. Well, why am I the problem? You're the problem because if you didn't communicate it, if you consistently keep recycling and self abandoning, then who's the problem in the relationship? That's
Yeah.
why we are always the problem. It's never the other person.
No.
You have to, you can only be accountable to you. So, it's going to consistently be this way unless you come forth vulnerable and be ready to be and be okay with getting rejected.
Yeah.
Be okay because it's not rejection. And that's when that wound heals. It's not rejection, it's redirection. It's not
It is.
rejection
Yeah,
because
because it's not meant for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a reject. Exactly.
if
Redirection.
it it's redirection. So come forth vulnerable, even if you feel like well, if I say this, I'm going to get rejection. Okay. But if you don't say it, you're getting rejection you're rejecting you.
Exactly.
So you're getting rejected either way.
Yeah. And that's the
So
worst.
just come forth.
Yeah.
There's no control. When you learn in life, nothing's permanent.
No.
Nothing's permanent.
No.
When you go in, not a marriage, not a relationship,
No.
not anything's permanent. And when you can look at it from that perspective and say, because things happen, things could happen. Someone could, die. Somebody could leave. Nothing's permanent. And you can say, I'm going to go into this with the best I have to
Yeah.
bring.
Yes.
And if I get hurt, then I'd rather love and loss. And I know that's hard, but if you don't love and you go into it, you're still going to lose.
Yeah, because you're not living the moment.
You
That's
know?
why we're here. You have to be present and live. And yes, and I mean, we have this fear of getting hurt, but like that's also part of life. And we don't, we tend to want to numb the negative emotions, but then what happens is that we numb them all, and so go through it, and then the more you go and are authentic, and you're not afraid to be seen, the beauty of what's going to happen is that you're going to be held and you're going to feel empowered.
Yeah.
So this is she. Yeah.
Yeah. This is she. And
Yeah.
that's the only thing you can do because you don't know how someone else is going to hold space for you. All you can do is put it out there and see how they are going to receive.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if it's that's how a good relationship can actually grow. I think You don't have to be healed. I used to think you have to be healed to date. I do think there's a period of isolation. I do think there's a period of you know, getting to know yourself and knowing your triggers and doing the inner work for sure. But are we ever going to be totally healed from
No, no, no,
past wounds?
no,
No.
no, no.
But I think that you could come forth with wisdom and enter it from a healthier place
Yeah.
um, in the relationships.
Yeah, wisdom, because that's just experience without the attached emotion. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
honestly loved this conversation, these two episodes, and yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna yeah, we got two episodes we're doing on this.
yeah,
Um yeah, and then we, because this is important and any feedback or any
yeah.
questions that people have, feel free to ask us. You can
Yes,
reach
to
us
reach out.
on
Yep,
She. You can reach us on Where the Magic Happens or Divinity Life
yeah.
Coaching. We're going to be diving more deeper into a lot of other subjects, but this is a struggle everyone is having, and the goal is love.
The
The
goal
goal
is
is
love,
love.
and the goal is to be like a child, like I literally the other day, and this is
Have
actually
fun.
for both men and women. Like you should play together. That's the healthy relationship. But I was reading, and there was like on Instagram for a woman, if you become a child, you're dating a man. If you become and act like a mother, you're dating a boy. And so,
Yes.
so go
And
out and
and
play.
and play and have fun and enjoy
Yeah,
it. You should enjoy it. It should be passionate.
yeah,
It should be passionate. It should be fun. Intimacy, people should understand intimacy is on so many levels. It's
yeah.
not just
It's not just
physical.
physical. Yeah.
And when you realize if you have intimacy intellectually, mentally, spiritually, sex is so much better
Yeah, totally. A hundred
than
percent.
just on a if you're
Yeah,
connected in those
yeah.
areas,
At,
that's
at a
like that's
soul
just like a
level. Yeah.
that's like a full body orgasm,
Perfection.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's not just body, it's the
Yeah.
full thing. that's
Yeah.
that's the goal.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah,
goal.
we'll talk more about those different types of sexual orgasms on
Yeah.
another
There
episode.
we go. I'm ready for it. Well,
Yes,
thank you
we'll
so
talk
much.
about all those.
Thank you so much, Joelle. Thank you all for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yep, subscribe, like,
Of
and share
course,
sheet.
always.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.